Good morning, children. Welcome to your science class. Nutrition in Animals, Part 4. Children, let us revise previous parts. So, the mode of taking food and its utilization by body is called nutrition. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals are components of food. The nutrition is completed in 5 stages, most of the animals. Those are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. Okay, the mouth digestion. Ingestion means taking food into mouth. Digestion means conversion of complex food substances into simple food substances. So digestion begins in the mouth. The the tongue and different kinds of teeth helps in digestion, and the food is chewed into the next part, that is esophagus. Esophagus pull down the food with the help of peristaltic movements into stomach. The inner layer of the stomach have glands. These are called gastric glands. It secretes gastric juice. The gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid, mucin, and pepsin. So mucin protect the inner layer of the stomach from hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid kills the germs and bacteria that enters along with the food, and it makes the food acidic in nature, and also it helps enzymes in digestion. Pepsin changes the proteins into peptones. Now the food is pushed into next part, that is small intestine, through a pyloric sphincter. So bile juice from liver, pancreatic juice from pancreas reaches the small intestine, the first part of the small intestine, and the inner walls of the small intestine secretes some juice that is called intestinal juice. It also contains some enzymes. The food is partially digested here and reaches the second part of the small intestine. Here the food is completely digested and it converts into a simple form, that is carbohydrates into glucose, proteins into amino acids, fats into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, children. Now the food next reaches into large intestine. So the large intestine has two parts, that is cecum and column. It is wider and shorter than the small intestine. So its length is nearly 1.5 meters. Okay, children. So here undigested and unabsorbed food enters into the large intestine. Clear, children? Now, what is the function of the large intestine? Large intestine absorbs the water and minerals, salts from the undigested food and unabsorbed food. Okay, children? So, the remaining waste passes into the rectum, that is the last part of the alimentary canal. So, in the rectum, one of the bacteria converts these undigested and unabsorbed food into fecal matter. After some time, the fecal matter is sent out through the anus. This is called egestion. Okay, children? That is intake of food. What is the intake of food into the mouth? That is ingestion. Second one, digestion. Conversion of complex food substances into simple food substances, that is called conversion. Absorption. Here, in the small intestine, uh, simple food substances are absorbed into blood. This is called absorption. Addition, the blood supplies simple food substances to each and every cell in the body. The cell starts consuming the digested food to release energy, that is called assimilation. The undigested food converts into fecal matter and sent outside through anus. This is called addition. So it is all the five steps are clearly understood. Okay, children. Now coming to the appendix. What is appendix? So it is a small tube-like structure. It is a small tube-like structure uh, with one side opening and the other side is attached to the cecum. What is cecum? Cecum is the first part of a large intestine. That is in between small intestine and large intestine. This finger-like appendix is located. Okay, children. This appendix is a vestigial organ. Vestigial means functionless organ. Vestigial means functionless organ. In our body, some functionless organs are there. The outer ear, it is a functionless organ. Okay, but it is dangerous, children. It is functionless. That's why it is dangerous sometimes. If any food enters into this, it causes severe stomach ache. So this is called appendicitis. Appendicitis. That is 24 hours stomach ache. Clear, children? So if a person is suffering with this appendicitis, immediately the appendicitis has to be removed within the 24 hours. Otherwise, the patient may die. But it is functional organ in ruminants. The finger-like appendix is functional organ in ruminants. Okay, children. Now coming to the next, ruminants. Do you know what are ruminants? We have observed cows, buffaloes, goats, horse, and other grass-eating animals, grazing animals, chewing continuously even when they are not eating grass. Okay, children? So, actually, they quickly swallow the grass and store it in a separate part of the stomach called rumen in their digestive system. So they store the food. They chew the while they are eating grass, while they are grazing, they cut the grass into big pieces and swallows it without chewing. Okay, and the swallowed food is stored in the rumen. This is one of the part of the stomach. Here, the food gets partially digested and is called cud. Because of some bacteria and some enzymes, this swallowed food in the rumen changes into soft food. That is called curd. Later, the curd returns to the mouth in small lumps and the animal chews it. During the leisure time, while it is taking rest, the swallowed food is bring back into the mouth and the animal chews it. This process is called rumination. What is this process? The process of bring back chewed and undigested food into mouth and chewing. It is called rumination, and these animals are called ruminants. What are these? These animals are called ruminants. The process is called rumination, and these animals are called ruminants. Clear, children? Okay. Now, what happened? The grass is rich in cellulose, a type of carbohydrate. So, grass contains cellulose. It is one type of carbohydrate. Okay, many animals, including human, cannot digest cellulose. We take cellulose in our food, but cellulose not get digested in our digestive system. But cellulose is essential. So it contains fiber and it provides easy movement to the food. It pushes the food downwards in the alimentary canal. That's why cellulose is essential. But it cannot get digested in our body. Not only human body, most of the animals. But ruminants have a large sac-like structure between the small intestine and large intestine. So the cellulose of the food is digested here by the action of certain bacteria which are not present in the humans. So bacteria. So some bacteria are useful and some bacteria are harmful. So in human body also some bacteria are there that converts the undigested food into fecal matter. The same way, I gave some examples in the previous classes. So bacteria converts milk into curd, like that. So here, one of the bacteria converts these cellulose. It digests the cellulose. That bacteria. Okay, children. Now that is this human. These ruminants have 4 chambers of stomach. Its chambers contains 4 chambers. Its stomach contains 4 chambers. Next, coming to the another animal, that is amoeba. Have you ever listened about the amoeba? Yes, it is the unicellular organism. That means it is a single-celled animal. Amoeba is a single-celled animal and it has no shape. It has no particular shape. But amoeba is microscopic single-cell organism. Microscopic means we can't see with our naked eye, with our open eye. With the help of the device microscope, we can see the amoeba. So it is called microscopic, and its body is made up of a single cell. So this is called single-celled organism or unicellular organism, and it is found in water, fresh water lakes. So amoeba has a cell membrane, a rounded, dense nucleus, and many small bubble-like vacuoles in its cytoplasm. So in the first lesson, we studied about the structure of a cell. A cell contains outer membrane, that is cell membrane. At the center of the cell, there is a prominent nucleus, and the fluid part in the cell is called cytoplasm. So now coming to the small bubble-like structures, these are called vacuoles. These vacuoles are present in the cytoplasm. Amoeba constantly changes its shape and positions. So it has no particular shape. It continuously changes its body shape. So it pushes out one or more finger-like projections called pseudopodia. So we find finger-like structures. These are the projections of the cell membrane. These are called pseudopodia. What is this meaning of pseudopodia? Pseudo means false. Podia means feet. False feet. These are not true feet. These are not real feet. So these are false feet. Pseudo, false. Podia, false. Podia means feet. Pseudopodia, false feet. So these false feet for movement and capture of food. So these pseudopodia or false feet are useful in locomotion, that is moving from one place to another place, or capturing the food, capturing for getting the food. Amoeba feeds on some microscopic organisms. What is the food of the amoeba? Some microscopic organisms. Okay, children, let us see the what are the steps involved in the nutrition of an amoeba. So the nutrition in the amoeba is called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis. What is the name? Phagocytosis. So when it sends food, it pushes out pseudopodia around the food particle and engulf it. When it senses the food, it senses means identify the food. When the amoeba identify the food in its environment, immediately it pushes out its pseudopodia. This pseudopodia engulf, that means the pseudopodia covers the food material. Covers the food material. Here in the picture 1, second, in the picture 1, it identify the one bacterium. It is red color. So it is red color. It is a food for the amoeba. Immediately it pushes out the pseudopodia. Two pseudopodia. So the pseudopodia engulf the food material. Engulf means covering, surrounding the food material. The pseudopodia at last surround the food material, and so the food becomes trapped in a food vacuole. Now the food material, here see the fourth diagram. So it is the food material enters into a vacuole. That vacuole is called food vacuole. Now the food vacuole releases some digestive juices, some digestive enzymes, and gradually the food gets digested. Okay, children, this is about the phagocytosis in amoeba. Next, you see some process. The absorbed food substances are used for growth, maintenance, and multiplication. So, the food is digested, and the digested food is absorbed by other organelles, the parts of the cell in the body, and these organelles consume the energy in the growth of the amoeba and the maintenance of the amoeba and multiplication. That means multiplication means it increases its amoeba increases its number. So that is absorption and assimilation. The undigested residue of the food is expelled outside by the vacuole. In the same manner, when the food is digested, some remains are there, undigested food particles. These undigested food particles sent out through a vacuole. This is called digestion. So, the basic process of digestion of food and release of energy is the same in an animals. So here can we also identify 5 stages. First one, ingestion. That means amoeba engulf the food material, surrounds the food material, that is taking food into body, that is ingestion. Digestion. In the food vacuole, food is digested by releasing some enzymes. This is called digestion. Next, absorption. The digested food is absorbed by each and every organelle in the cell body of the amoeba. So this is called absorption. And each and every cell organelle consume the digested food to release the energy. That is called assimilation. Undigested food sent out through another vacuole, that is called digestion. So in amoeba, the mode of nutrition, we can find all the 5 steps. So the digestion, okay, the process of digestion in amoeba is same as in the human being and other animals. Okay, children, here 5 steps. Some other steps you see the. Now coming to the next one, starfish. Okay, where do we find the starfish? In the water. So starfish feeds on animals covered by hard shells of calcium carbonate. So what is the food of the animals? Okay, what is the food of the starfish? Starfish feeds on the animals. Which animals? That are covered with the hard shells. How the shell is made up of? The shell is made up of calcium carbonate. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out its stomach through its mouth. So here the starfish props out the stomach, that means bring out the stomach through its mouth, and to eat the soft animals inside the cell. After that, the stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly digested. This is called, this is the mode of digestion in the starfish. Okay, children, let us recapitulate entire lesson. Here, I have written everything for your easy understanding. So, the mode of taking food in its utilization by the body is called nutrition. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals are the main components of food. Different animals have different modes of feeding habits. Most of the animals complete their nutrition in 5 steps, that is, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. The take the taking food into the mouth is called ingestion. The conversion of complex food substances into simple food substances is called digestion. At the end of the digestion, carbohydrates changes into simple sugars, that is glucose. Proteins changes into amino acids, and fats changes into fatty acids and glycerol. The entering of digested food into blood from intestine is called absorption. The digested food in the cell is consumed to release energy is called assimilation. The undigested food is sent out in the form of fecal matter. This is called digestion. We find the same steps in the rumination also. Ruminants have four chambered stomach. It can digest the cellulose. We can find the same mode of nutrition both in amoeba and starfish. Thank you very much, children, for listening. Children, once again, you watch entire lesson. Try to understand and read the textbook. Textbook reading is very, 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 very important. If you read one time, you will not get any content. You read minimum 4 or 5 times. You read and try to understand each and every line of the textbook. Then only you will get 100% of content. Then only you can write any test without preparation. So textbook reading is very, very, very important, children. Once again, I am reminding textbook reading is very, very important. So the following day, I am going to conduct a test on either 60 or 80 marks. Thank you very much, children. Have a nice day.